Hey Taurus, welcome to your April 2023 reading using the tarot. So last month we caught up and we ended the month of March with that killing an old way to bring about peace and the calm after the storm. It had seemed that you were in a place of calm towards the end of March, and I like how I see the month of April beginning with this Eight of Pentacles because of that peace that you're feeling, because of the balance that has been brought about in your life. And I see an upswing for you overall. End of March coming into April, you are on a trajectory of a transformation that's quite subtle actually. It's not this massive life overhaul. Small changes, little tweaks put you on the right path. The Ace of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, the most aligned path, a very productive way of doing things. Work, your job, the tasks, the projects, whatever that aspect of your life pertains to, that's going particularly well for you. That's probably due to your focus, your determination, the effort you're making to even just make quite small adjustments for very maximum effort. This card is a Virgo energy. You could find yourself dealing with a Virgo at the beginning of the month in a bigger way, learning from a Virgo, learning what to do and what not to do perhaps. But Virgo is associated with fine details, minute details. The small picture, the details that go behind making the big picture possible. So you've noticed, Taurus, that if you make small adjustments in your life for the better, it can have a really big overall transformative. Eights are very transformative in tarot. It can really have those kind of bigger effects. For the positive. So keep up the hard work, the determination. The Eight of Pentacles also speaks to you being in your zone, right? Not just your comfort zone. Taurus has a reputation for liking their comfort zone. I'm a Taurus moon and I can't really argue with that. But you're in your zone. And if that's comfortable, then all the better, because this talks about just like your work routine is good, your physical exercise is good, your physical body is improving, so everything seems to be improving for you, but it's all down to a routine. Okay, that sounds boring, sounds humdrum. It's really not. Actually, you're super excited about something, and we'll talk more about that Knight of Wands that comes up towards the end of the month. I'm going to pull some cards now, but before I do that, let's have a little look at this Five of Pentacles. This is a Taurus energy. I'm inclined to say it's Mercury in Taurus. Let me just check my astro guide here. I'm inclined to think it's Mercury in Taurus, which would make a lot of sense because Mercury enters Taurus in the second week of April. So Mercury will be in your home sign. Mercury is the planet of communication. This is going to be, yes, Mercury in Taurus. This is going to be a lot about you having a voice and you needing to assert your thoughts. And I think you're planning something, you're strategizing something. It could be an event planning. It could be something you're really excited about. Your birthday coming up, perhaps. You know, it could be a milestone birthday. It could just be, you know, gathering people together, booking a trip, booking an excursion, booking a reservation. But it's something where you have to take planning into your own hands. But the Five of Pentacles, right? These people look a little bit cold. Maybe you're dying to get some sun on your bones. That could be it. But I see the same person. I don't think it necessarily is. None of these people look dramatically alike. But I see two people wearing a beanie hat, so let's put it even with that. It's almost like you have to lead somebody that you care about from a place of them feeling like they're not good enough. This is not necessarily you, I don't think, Taurus. I think things have been going too well for you to feel this way. This is the calm after the storm period that's coming to light for you. So I think it's because of your wisdom that you're able to lead the way for somebody that you really care about, somebody who's maybe lost their way, somebody who has forgotten the divine essence and light of their own being. You're here to say, look, I've figured out a couple of things and I've figured out what works, and you know, you're not being bossy, you're just leading from example and your wisdom. To quote the evolutionary astrologer Stephen Forrest, he speaks about the Taurus-Scorpio axis of a wisdom foot and a peace foot. These people are putting feet forward. The Taurus foot is when we put our peace foot forward, and then after that we take another step with our wisdom foot, which is more to do with Scorpio, but it is that balance of things not always being wisdom foot after wisdom foot, which is kind of what's happening in the Five of Pentacles. Hardship, test, trial, tribulation, wisdom foot. Yeah, we're going to learn a lot from that. But like I said, it's important to feel comfortable, to feel at peace, and to feel serene in this lifetime too. That's when Taurus says, all right, you've learned a lot and things have been challenging. Yes, you've overcome, but it's time now to take a peace foot forward and enjoy yourself. Stop and smell the roses. Do something fun for yourself. Do something luxurious for yourself. Do something nourishing for yourself, your soul, your body, your mind. Let's get deeper into the messages of these cards though. It's a very earthy reading so far. The Pentacles talk about money, work, the physical body. And we do have some fire coming out here too. The Knight of Wands ending the month with quite a dynamic action, a dynamic change in events perhaps, a more of a impactful switch around in where you were going. You go back towards something that you thought hadn't been materialized for you. That could have been that, you know, you missed the opportunity and then they call you and say, oh look, this is going to go ahead again. So that could be revisiting something that you thought was a non-runner. But we do have an eclipse on April 20th, which is a really big deal. This is going to be happening in the sign of Aries, a solar eclipse, new moon. The Six of Wands and the Sun card. If you're dealing with a Leo in your life, things could be very positive with a Leo in your life. If there's anybody you need to reconnect with who's a Leo, this could be a great time towards the end of the month or really any time this month. Leo people in your life seem to be the key to happiness for whatever reason for you. So let's look at the Eight of Pentacles and see what the beginning of the month of April looks like. I'm excited. You're excited. This is different to last month's reading. I feel like the calm after the storm has passed. Now it's let's go. Like, let's just get going. We have the Two of Swords, final hesitation, Three of Wands. Before that expands, Four of Wands at the bottom of the deck. All right, so you're on the fence still about something, or else there's just something in a little bit of deliberation soon. Soon, I think that will advance for you and you'll be coming into something that's more concrete and more permanent, very much at the start of the month of April. Now, you've been working on a resume, you've been working on a goal, you've been working on a project, you've been working on yourself first, and that's the most important thing. And you've noticed that the small tweaks, the little promises kept to self, going to bed 20 minutes earlier than the next night 40 minutes earlier, the small tweaks are so impactful. But there's still that lingering doubt and it's not going to be there for long. I see it like being burned away with this strong fiery energy. This is Aries energy. So Aries has as an archetype, I'm not talking about people with this sign placement, but as an archetype, Aries is completely courageous, completely bold, rambunctious sometimes, but very fearless and very assertive. And they stand up for themselves and other people and they don't mince their words. So I get the sense that any doubt coming from an inner voice, maybe coming from that wounded inner child, the Page of Cups in reverse. And I think that this is just an old version of yourself that is seeking to stand up and be more bold, I think. And it's like the little tweaks have made you more and more confident. And so something expands for you in the month of April. At the very start, 3 to 4 of Wands, you set your sights on a goal and then quite quickly that goal materializes. 4 of Wands is manifestation right in front of your very eyes. You're excited about something. I see you planning something in your head. I see you looking to another country, to another cross-cultural experience, looking overseas, looking at something that's exotic and attractive and seems like a vacation or fun. It seems like a fairy tale or an escape. And then we have this beautiful setting of the Four of Wands. I really can see you visualizing beautiful surroundings and making a plan. Some of you are planning a wedding, some of you are planning a party, and it involves getting everybody together. And this could be you just, event planning, party planning. That could be a career you're going into, or it could be something that has really got a hold of your attention. Let's look at what's coming up in the mid-month part of April for you with the Five of Pentacles. Taurus, if you wouldn't mind subscribing to this channel, that would be fantastic. And other than that, I guess I would like to say that I have a relationship reading for you where I deep dive into a significant dynamic between you and another person. I'll link that below. It's going to be on my Patreon. I'll also link below your latest reading from March. Let's get into, though, this Five of Pentacles. What does this mean for Taurus? I'm putting this after the Libra full moon, which is the 6th of April. I'm putting this anytime from around the 8th of April onwards, the Five of Pentacles coming through. The Five of Swords, the King of Cups. Bottom of the deck, the Four of Pentacles. So the 4 and 5 of Pentacles. You may be finally getting a hold, like this person here, on some of your more crippling fears and insecurities and doubts. I think that that storm that passed in probably going back to February, the emotional upheaval, the realization, Taurus, it was February, March, I think, that you were sort of thinking to yourself like, whoa, I'm struggling with this. This is difficult and this is draining. You revisit certain themes of that in the middle of the month, but for the most part, you have a hold on this now where you understand yourself and those painful moments in your life better. And what makes this trigger for you? It could be somebody you really love and they don't intentionally trigger this wound, but because they know you so deeply. It doesn't have to be a water sign like this King of Cups, but it could be a Scorpio, a Cancer, or a Pisces. Regardless of the sign, this is a person in your life that knows the true you, Taurus, warts and all, and they love you, warts and all, and they don't judge you. But because they know you, they know your struggle, they know your strengths and your weaknesses, they're triggering some memory for you. And you said, oh, I thought I had a hold on this. If you're dealing with another person that you're quite worried about in the middle of the month, then there is something about that person that you are worried about self-sabotaging because they're unhappy with something. This is quite often the case. And also I get the sense of like competition coming up between you and somebody else, or competition from, there's like a voice within you, an inner voice saying like, you have to impress this person, you have to prove yourself, basically. Yeah, you have to prove yourself to somebody. And I have a feeling that this person that really loves you, you have this false impression, I think, Taurus, mid-month, where you feel like you need to prove yourself to them. And all they're doing is holding up a mirror to you and letting you see that the only person that you need to prove yourself to, the only person that you need to compete with, is with yourself. Other than that, I feel like you could be dealing with somebody who's very kind, very loving, and they are trying to help you and help you help yourself. Maybe it's you, Taurus, you're very kind, you're very loving, and you're trying to help someone in your life help themselves. You're leading from example, I think. You're really excited about something though. Moving onwards, we have a massive couple of days in the month of April. The sun moves into your sign, Taurus, around the 20th, 21st of April. And on the 20th of April, there is a solar eclipse eclipses pertain to destined beginnings and destined endings, and there's something you're really excited about. The Knight of Wands. You're chomping at the bit to get going on this. For some of you, you'll be running back to something at the end of the month, now charging back to something. And for others, it will be quite a distinctive and dynamic change in direction. So let's look at that. Hi, Luna. I don't know if you can hear my cat meowing away. We have the Seven of Cups and that Leo energy coming through again with the Strength card. Okay, so for some of you that are entrepreneurs, for some of you that are dealing with inheritances or bigger sums of money or businesses at the moment and contracts, there is a pause on one of these things. And eventually you come out on top of it, I believe, but don't be disheartened by some sort of a temporary pause on one of your plans for the future, one of your long-term plans for the future. The reason there may be a temporary pause on the Ten of Pentacles in reverse is because something comes up at the end of the month which was not clear to you originally when you first saw this. There was something at the end of the month that requires you to charge back, and now that you can see things clearly, when that fog has lifted, it's almost like coming out of a slumber. It's like an awakening energy. You're able to see past a deception, a delusion. I think it was you kidding yourself on something, Taurus. You were saying, this doesn't hurt me. I'm not affected by this. I don't care about that person. I don't care if they're in my life or not. Well, there's somebody here that really loves you, Taurus, and they miss you, I think. You've been doing so well, and the proof is in the pudding. You've been expanding. Things have been going really great for you. At the start of the month, you kind of see that. And now you're in a good headspace, mindset to sort of stop kidding yourself on what's hurting you. And mid-month, I think, is when you do see what's hurting you come through. And there's somebody that you misses you, and I think that's who you charge back to. I do think the Knight of Wands is a change in how you're able to see a situation, and at the end of the month you kind of have the strength. I think this is our only major arcana card. Wow, you have the strength at the end of the month to stop kidding yourself, let your guard down, and admit that you do miss this person and you want to make amends and you want them in your life. Okay, the Strength card is the only major arcana card. Dealing with Leo people in your life is going to teach you so much about soul growth. If these Leos are a pain in your butt at the moment, well, consider it like this. They're teaching you something, and if you prescribe to any sort of karmic astrology or evolutionary astrology, or even karma and soul contracts, chances are you even asked this person to bother you at this time in your life so that your soul could expand and grow. Okay, the physical body, if you're feeling like you've been kind of back and forth with some sort of a wellness or energy levels, it does seem like the start of the month is a really good indication for you to continue doing what you're doing that's working. And I get the impression that you are a little fatigued mid-month, but it's actually coming from an emotional issue. You may not realize that. For example, you know, the heart, Leo, the heart, we can have troubles in our heart chakra. They can manifest on the physical too, but typically it's about pent-up anger or, you know, pent-up resentment or grudge. And letting go of resentments and grudge can just overall be such a good move to make for our overall health and wellness. I just see that message coming through, and the Strength card is always really good to see for physical vitality and exuberance, and you're so excited for something. And don't let anything that you want to resolve keep you from chasing after whatever it is you're excited about. But there is something that calls you back to re-examine with a clearer head now that you can see straighter, Taurus. Have a great month ahead and see you soon. Happy birthday to any Tauruses celebrating at the end of April.